Hello guys and welcome to my WARNO tips and tricks series. Today we're looking at how smoking saves lives. Now in this video I'm going to be going over the very basics of how smoke works and what it does. And then later down the line I'm going to go more in depth where I'm going to talk about some facts and also different tips and tricks you can utilize on the battlefield against other players. Now, so to begin with, let's just throw a smoke here, the infantry leader. Now, as most of you know, a smoke blocks line of sight, and you can tell that by holding down the C key, as you can see here. So it provides cover. Always nice if you're receiving any like incoming fire. But what a smoke also does, it also works a kind of a shield or wall, whereas by that I mean not shoot through it and the enemy cannot shoot back at you. As you can see here, we can only shoot wherever our line of sight is not blocked at. Now, which units can use the smoke ability? Now here I've picked a variety of units to showcase briefly on when who cannot use smokes. So to begin with, we have the infantry leaders. Now most infantry leaders have the ability to smoke now. It's not all of them, but most. There are also other types of elite infantry units and recon units that have the ability to smoke. Such as here I have the green beret in the back that has smoke grenades. So with that, there's also different transports that sometimes have smokes, infantry fighting vehicles, and tanks. Now, how can you tell if they have the ability to smoke? If you press I on a unit, you can see here in the Intel tab that it has smoke launchers, and I'll tell you if it can use smokes or not. And in the backline, we have artillery and mortars, as you can see here, with mortars, medium howitzers, and heavy howitzers have the ability to smoke as well. So these are the basic units that can utilize the smoke. Now, with the units that I've showcased that have the ability to smoke, I've lined up a few smoke shells here, showcase you the different variation and sizes, where with the heavy howitzer it has the large amount of smoke cover, where it goes further down the line from howitzers, like medium howitzers, mortars, vehicles, and infantry units. Now, in addition to this, there's also a difference in how long the smoke ability lasts for each type of unit. Here I have this little guideline, as you can see in this picture, where infantry units have a 1 minute time on their smoke grenades, and the mortar has 45 seconds, except a few Soviet units, such as the Nona and Vasilek, which doesn't have the ability to smoke at all. With that, we also have the howitzer, which includes the medium, heavy, SPGs, all types. They last for 1 minute. And last but not least, we have the tanks, infantry fighting units and transports, and also recon units. Basically, all types of vehicles with smokes, they only last for 20 seconds. Right, so now we're going to move over to some tips and tricks for vehicles. Now, especially with tanks, like let's say here I have this scenario against the HGM units. One reason why they're always good is you can use it as a escape option when utilizing smoke. Let's say there's too many units that we can't deal with at once. We just retreat and try maybe and re-engage the enemy. Because sometimes you are not able to see the enemy and you just start getting fired upon. Now, but another strat with this is utilizing the smoke as a more offensive matter than like a retreating matter. And with that, I mean doing some hit and run tactics. Let's say I push up to this unit here again. Now, I will probably lose this battle if I don't my smoke. But let's see here. As you can see, we can fire one shot, then I pop the smoke in. But instead of retreating, I move up forward and re-engage him. Now, why do I do this? I do this because the AGM has a long aiming time, travel time, and whatnot. So you can get a shot off before he even can like fire at you. It's a very useful tool to go in and out of battle, killing very fragile units such as HGM. Now, one bad thing about this is that the tank smoke doesn't work as long. So it's always better to utilize mortars, for example, because they will last you twice as long. And another side note to this is that it is really important that you have recon units, so your tank, as soon as it gets out of the smoke, it can already see the enemy, instead of like having to wait at being shot at. So if you do this strat, always have recon, so you have an idea of where the enemy is. And it only works against missile units. If you're fighting tanks, the enemy tank will probably be able to fire at you first. Right, now let's move over to some tips and tricks for infantry. I've set up this scenario, which is not the best because it's against AI, but it'll do the trick. Just to explain the gist. Now here, what I'm trying to showcase is that with smokes, when you use them in like apartment buildings, they won't work as well. As you can see earlier in testing, I threw a smoke while being fired upon, and it did not help at all because of the height difference. So you always want to use, like when using smokes, you always want to use it from buildings that are not higher than the smoke itself. Now, in addition to this, let's say in this scenario we have a infantry unit here. Let's say we're getting shot from 3 different angles. Like here, maybe 2 units and then 1 here. Now, what you want to do when engaging the enemy is either you can retreat or you can also fight with the smoke. And by that I mean you can do some strategic targeting of some sort. So if there's a lot of units here shooting at you and only a single unit here, you can pop the smoke, remove the line of sight from the enemy unit that's firing upon us here, and hard focus on the enemy in this building. That is a way you can utilize it in an offensively manner. Now, to conclude, we've gone over the very basics of smokes. We've talked a bit about some facts, and I've shown you some tips and tricks for vehicles and infantry units. So, to end off the video, I'm definitely going to recommend you guys to use mortars a lot more often, and the reason for that is just the stats, like it's very good. Now, it's very cheap, it has high rate of fire and whatnot, and a good salvo link. So you're going to cover a lot of ground with smokes in a short amount of time. But I would definitely recommend you guys using the vehicle mortars, because that way you can move a lot faster around the battlefield. And another last side note here is when using smokes, always have recon so you know what's on the other side. Because if you just smoke and send a shit ton of units across the field, you don't know what to expect and you might lose everything. But yeah, anyways, I've rambled on for long enough. I hope you guys found this video helpful. And yeah, if you have anything to add, feel free to write it down in the comments. And yeah, till next time, guys, and thanks for watching.